It's time for Did You Watch It?
How does this show work? We watch what we like, we talk about what we watched, and maybe you'll like what you hear. I'm Liz.
I'm Isabelle.
And I'm Neil. Yes, you heard right. They decide to do a recap, we'll do one of our own. We got together on Monday, June 9th, 2014. Here's what we talked about.
So, hey Liz, how are you?
Oh, I'm so much better. My energy level is like quadruple what it's been in the last week, so.
Well, that is good to hear.
Yes.
And Neil has joined in today on the conversation.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, hell has frozen over.
Weren't we just talking about Neil last week? Like, oh my God, he didn't want to watch the show anymore, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, oh my God, you've been talking about me for the last 4 weeks.
Well, it's because we love you.
Of course.
Hello. We can't leave you out of it.
No.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Well, you know, and you watched last season too, so I was kind of like, well, I don't know what happened. What'd you guys talk about?
I know, right?
Oh yeah, we're going to touch on a few things from last season, but we're not going to dwell. Because,
No.
you know, that's in the past.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a season all to itself.
Yes, exactly. So how is everybody?
Good.
Great.
Isabelle, how are you liking it?
It's been interesting getting back into the whole Bachelorette since it's been a couple years. But
Yes.
yeah, I mean, they're still up to their tricks and their
Okay.
quote-unquote drama. So-
Right? It's kind of
Right.
like riding a bike.
Yeah.
You don't forget.
You don't.
Yeah, so have you found any significant changes from your previous ventures?
No.
I think that says it all. Very good. Okay, so is Liz behaving?
She
What do you
is.
mean am I behaving?
Well, she's never said a bad thing.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, I hear the final version of it, and it sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But there's a lot that I don't listen to, and, you know, that's by choice, because,
Yeah.
you know.
It's too hard.
And it's nothing against two of you. Both of you know that.
Yes.
It's
We
just,
know.
yeah.
We know you love us.
Yes, exactly.
You just don't love Andy.
I've got a question for Liz.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Well, no. It's a very easy one.
Oh, okay.
Because we did season 18 of The Bachelor. During the first 4 episodes of The Bachelor, in addition to meeting Andy, we were introduced to Camila,
Yes.
and we met Grenade.
Yes.
Who is Grenade?
Oh, my gosh. It's all coming back to me.
Yes, and we met Amy, the massage therapist, who
Yes.
just loves putting massage oil on suits.
On top of the suit, which was
Oh.
Yes.
classic.
There was Naked Lucy.
Who's still naked, I'm sure.
I'm sure she is, and God bless her for that.
Right?
And of course, Mundo.
Mundo. You know, she's been around everywhere.
Yes.
On this season.
Oh, yeah. Very much
Charlene
so.
is like, I'm surprised she wasn't the next Bachelorette, honestly, because it just feels like they're pulling her into a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So-
Yeah. Well, they're all hanging together, I noticed.
Well, it's a family. It's the Bachelorette family.
It sounds like a cult. I'm sorry, with this whole family.
Oh, there you go. Isabelle,
Well,
I am
it's
with you.
not really a cult. I'm the only diehard, huh?
I think you are.
Yes, you are. You are truly the only Kool-Aid consumer.
What is
So-
wrong with you people?
Also, in those first 4 episodes of The Bachelor, we had that whole bathroom declaration from Victoria. You know, Juan Pablo, you should die, right?
Whoa. If only.
They did that electric 5K where Juan Pablo was dressed like Tron. And,
Oh, yeah, with the shorts.
Yeah, and Kat, dressed like a Santa Anita jockey.
Yeah.
My.
I just remember the horrible shorts
Yeah, it was pathetic.
and
It was
like
sad.
the 70s flashback. That's a decade we don't want to relive.
Right. And then you had the bungee jump off Suicide Bridge.
Yes.
And then the pre-sushi pedicure in Seoul, Korea.
Oh, God. Still get the willies from that. Did you know about that, Izzy?
Is this a pedicure where the fish eat off the dead skin on your
Yes!
feet?
Isn't that disgusting?
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't sound too hygienic, but
Oh,
whatever.
my God. Just the
Whatever.
thought of,
There
like,
you go.
a bunch of little
And
fish.
anything for the Bachelor universe, I presume.
Yeah.
So, Liz, in your personal assessment, compare the first 4 episodes of The Bachelor to these first 4 episodes of The Bachelorette.
Okay. There's characters in both, right? So we've got, the guys who were just kind of testosterone filled, really confident, the people that are too pushy. We've got the guys that are really shy and sensitive. So we've got kind of the whole gamut, just like we did on The Bachelor, because the first 4 episodes, we had so many crazy scenarios that happened. So
never a dull moment.
It's not short on
entertainment value,
insanity.
Okay.
Very good. How's Andy as an alpha? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I don't know what she was like before, but I think she really seems to like having the control, basically, and having the guys at her beck and call in that sense.
You think?
Yes, she does.
Yeah, I think I first noticed it in, I believe it might have been the 3rd episode when Craig got really drunk and threw himself in the pool. And this is our resident alcoholic who's already been thrown out. So he's making a ruckus and kind of interrupting. And all of a sudden Andy's like, if no one is here for the right reason, as if she was trying to blame all the boys for Craig's antics when it should have just been dealing with the issue of what's Craig all about and not necessarily trying to blame all the guys. I don't know. It just struck me strange. Does that even make sense?
That makes sense. Totally.
Yeah, so she definitely likes to have the control and call the shots in that sense. Which
she's a gang prosecutor.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. She's just not an ADA. She's a gang prosecutor. So,
she's a gang prosecutor.
I think obviously you have to have that type of personality to work in that particular field, but it seems like based on her reaction and her conversation with Eric before he left, it was an observation. It could have been a constructive criticism deal, so I kind of wonder if she can't deal with the dating situation, how's she going to deal with that at work?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think she's used to arguing, honestly. And
she likes to have her way.
And stating her case.
Yeah, it's funny that you should mention that because in her experience with the Bachelor universe, she's basically had 2 big confrontations. Mm-hmm. One when she was a Bachelorette and one when she is the Bachelorette.
Right.
And if you look back to when she was a Bachelorette, Juan Pablo aside, because the feelings and the opinions are mixed, she clearly instigated that confrontation because in the direction that it was going, she kind of wanted it escalated.
Yeah, no, she did. It was clear from the footage that she didn't want to back down and she needed to give him a piece of her mind.
Yeah, and she wasn't just going to settle for a polite walking away off into the sunset type of thing.
Right.
It's okay.
So now that she's the Bachelorette, from everything that I've heard from you guys and read as far as summaries, it's like there was an observation that was made about her that she either misinterpreted, took the wrong way, whatever it was that was said was a huge catalyst for that particular bachelor to be removed from the show.
Yeah.
So
it's like she focuses on one thing that was said and creates her own interpretation of that, which is what we all do. I get it. We all do that.
True.
But if you go back and listen to Izzy and I's episode from, I think it was last week, where, we were just talking about what we think Eric was trying to say and what she honed in on, you know what I mean? And then she just couldn't let it go. It just escalated from there.
One of the things that's been discussed is the choice to show as much of the confrontation that they did. Granted that Eric had passed away shortly after that happened, but there was always a question of whether it was necessary to show the whole thing or as much as they did, or could they have accomplished the same thing, just showing enough to convey that, okay, this is the reason why he was asked to leave.
Well, I think if they had shown less, there would have been more questions.
Okay.
I think so too. And it was so intense, right, that it just created a lot of buzz.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and I think it would have been hard to edit down that type of conversation because from Eric's point of view, in terms of what I was understanding, he was kind of trying to follow this linear path and trying to explain himself. So I think if they had cut anything out, we might not have gotten... It would
have sounded choppy or weird.
It would have sounded choppy, for sure. And then we probably would have questioned, well, what, something's missing because her reaction's not fitting in with what he's saying or vice versa. So
yeah,
I think it was helpful to show the entire sequence.
Do you think that the interview that Chris Harrison did with... And why do I always say his full name?
Chris Harrison.
Because we always do.
It's like I never say Chris or I never say Mr. Harrison. It's always Chris Harrison.
It's always Chris Harrison.
You know, I don't say Andy Dorfman. I don't say Juan Pablo Galaviz.
I think it would be better if we called him our fearless host.
Our fearless host, yes. Okay, so based on the interview that Andy did with our fearless host, well, your fearless host, did it accomplish the things that they were setting out to do?
I don't think so.
I was going to say, that's a tough one because, we all met and fell in love with Eric. Mm-hmm. We got to see this great guy, and then we got to see her kind of treat him like she did, and we know the backstory. We know what happened, and so you have that sadness and that feeling that you feel kind of like you want to defend him, and then to have her interviewed the way she was with Chris Harrison, there, I said it again.
There you go.
It just goes to show you it's programmed. It came off to me like it wasn't genuine on her part.
Okay.
No, I agree with you, Liz. She didn't really answer a lot of the questions, and she just kind of circled it.
Yeah,
because there's that whole story about the fact that it took her a month to actually comment or tweet or say something.
Yeah, see, that surprised me.
And I didn't realize until you had mentioned that.
How could you be in this situation, go on the kind of dates that she did with him, have the kind of interaction that she did, and when someone passes away, you not acknowledge that? I just don't get it. It doesn't, as a human being, as a person who just cares for people, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It was never asked at the end with the fearless host, doing his little Q&A there, but it doesn't seem as though she explained why she didn't tweet anything out. I know they were filming, and I think they were almost done with filming when news came.
I believe they were wrapping up, because one thing that your fearless host said was that all of the bachelors and Andy, at the time that they found out, were told immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not like she had no knowledge of this at all.
Correct.
And I get that because of the premise of the show, you have to kind of keep everything under wraps. But once it broke in the press, that's what I'm saying. If it was okay, and once the episode aired and we all knew, wouldn't you take that moment, Andy, to tweet or say something? Just the fact that she didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I give her props for being in the hot seat and being able to handle that kind of questioning, because how would we answer those kinds of questions? It would be hard.
She's a lawyer.
So she knows how to kind of spin it.
Yeah, which is what she did, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. If there's any doubt in anybody's mind, I still don't trust her, but that's just me. All right, so who's the next to go? Both of you pick one. Isabelle.
It could be Andrew.
I hope it's Andrew.
I hope so too.
Who we hope it is because he is just on my last nerve.
Nice.
Even in this recap show, that smirk is so present and it's so arrogant. It's like, dude, I can't look at that anymore.
Nice.
It just makes me want to flick you in the forehead.
His voice. There's like this whine to it, isn't there?
Ugh.
It's not like Marcus.
Not like Marcus, I was just going to say.
Well, Marcus is cute and he's sweet, and I know you think he's needy, but I like him.
I want more. I need more time with Andy.
I
can't believe she doesn't want to spend time with me.
The two of you with your voices, I think I need to get like a voice or something, because it seems to be the thing
now. A recurring theme. Yes, we are bringing it into vogue.
You are.
It's not so much Marcus's voice, it's just the
what he's portraying.
It's what it represents.
I know.
Demeanor.
You're putting a sound to what we're feeling.
Oh, I heard that they showed Tassos' rose.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
How did that go?
Okay, I'm really glad they showed it, because I've been a fan of Tassos from the beginning. We really liked him. He was interesting. And after this episode, I liked him even more because he called Andrew out on his stuff, which I can appreciate, and he didn't back down, and he told him he was arrogant. And I'm glad Andy talked to him. She didn't just let him walk out. I think now that we're down to letting one person go a week in the rose ceremony or whatever it is they're doing, it's going to be the kind of thing where you walk people out and you kind of talk to them on the way out.
There are 11 left, right?
Yes, there are.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think we're getting down to where it's going to be a little more intimate as far as how they're getting to know people.
Okay.
So, Liz, I know you watched the recap thing. What did you think of all the boys, getting angry with Nick because he went to go console Andy? And he was just saying, I just took the opportunity, but
I know, but I totally get it, because we're seeing this schnikey side of Nick, right? We've seen it in the last couple of episodes, and I think the guys are just picking up on more of that, and I think there's stuff that we didn't get to see.
He did have a bit of a smirk after that, kind of like,
well, next week in the clip, they were saying, you feel like you you deserved to console her. You know, I don't know if it was this week that they said that or the clips, you know, from next week where they were saying that. But
I think it was in this clip where they actually showed the rose ceremony after Eric left. You know, Andrew going on about, does he have the upper hand? And Andrew was kind of twisting it around, then all the other guys just kind of jumped in with that too. Because Andrew was spinning it too. So
I just think he's starting to not be so guarded with the guys. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they're seeing more of who he truly is. And I just, you know, when he was consoling Andy, I mean, tell me what you think about this, Izzy, but when he was consoling Andy, it didn't seem genuine. Did you see the look on his face? He was kind of, you know, he had his hand over his mouth and he's kind of staring down her dress, which was very low, by the way.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Oh,
but yes, the dress was low, but I didn't catch that. I'm going to have to... I think I still have it on the DVR. I'll have to watch that part again.
It's just terrible. And I just thought to myself, dude, you're trying to console her and you're trying to get a peek. Really?
Okay. And I don't know if you caught this. She said something along the lines of like a battle she had to fight. And I remember thinking, what? What does that mean?
Well, but that's what I'm saying. That's what she's talking about because that's who she is. You know, she has that strong personality. The part of her that likes to argue, that likes to be proven right or whatever in any kind of situation, and it's her job, right? So I think
you'd figure that she'd be at home dealing with basically this room full of juvenile delinquents.
Right, exactly. Or a bunch of gang members that she has to prosecute.
Oh,
you know, at least these guys aren't armed, I don't think. Oh, just as a quick side note, is Andy's stop the same as the Isoke?
I think that is. And the y'all.
Yeah, I think it's the y'all for sure, because it's really prevalent.
Who's most likely to do something to cause themselves to get kicked before the ceremony?
Andrew having a girlfriend, or the story about Andrew getting that chick's number.
Okay.
Something is a brewing, and it hasn't been kind of resolved yet, I think because the focus has been more on Eric and what happened. So I think whatever this news is that we hear next week and we see the guys fighting a little more, I think we're going to start to see what that is.
Okay.
In this episode, in the recap episode, we got to see Cody seriously be kind of the voice of reason.
Was it towards the end?
Yes! I was so surprised by that because so far he's been kind of like the typical spray tan
meathead.
Spray tan meathead. Nice.
You know, kind of.
He kind of looks like an Oompa Loompa.
He does.
Because he has that like orange.
I know you won't
shade.
Watch, but if you saw it, you'd get it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, when you have to see, you know, that little tagline at the bottom saying who the person is, you pick them right out.
Gotcha. Okay, pick your final two.
I know who I want my final two to be. For her.
Yeah, who's she going to pick?
I think it's going to be between Josh and Chris, the farmer.
Yeah, I think the final two are going to be Josh and Chris as well. That's who I want it to be.
All right, who are your final two, Liz?
For me? Oh, who I want?
Yeah, for you.
They're all too young. Dang it.
Well, I know, but if you had to pick two, we'll change the show's name to The Cougar.
Hey, if the roar fits. Yeah, Marcus. And I love Chris. I think Chris is awesome. Josh is a little bit too, how do I describe it?
Neanderthal? Sorry.
Oh my God.
When Andy was having her heated discussion with Eric, he was like, well, that's not right. That's not right. That, this whole, we got to go in and I don't know. Yeah. He seems very protective of her, so.
Yes. We're just seeing kind of this sports side. Like when they lost last week, he was really upset and really vocal about it.
Uh-huh.
And then this week we see him really kind of getting on the edge of his seat towards the end when, Cody was talking about, look, we all want to console her. He just, he has this switch, I feel like. There's
He's very competitive.
Competitive.
Okay.
Yeah, but it comes off. For me, I don't like that kind of competitive where you're just pushy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kind of a sore loser.
Gotcha. Isabelle, your two.
I'd go for Josh.
Okay.
And I'd go for Chris because he's just so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, and Carl gets an honorable mention.
Yes, Carl does get an honorable mention, our firefighter from Florida.
Carl, yes.
And the only reason I know that is because I listen.
Yes, and if I could throw another honorable mention, possibly Patrick.
Okay. Carl, Patrick, if you're listening.
I could add a few more in.
So, when we get to the men tell all, who do you think will have the most to talk or complain about?
Whew, Andrew for sure.
Yeah, I think Andrew, depending on how far he goes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can totally see that coming because the tension is brewing and the controversy, it's thriving. Okay. You know what I mean with him?
Gotcha.
Yeah, him and Nick. I think Nick as well because, yeah, the same kind of stuff is happening with Nick right now.
Gotcha.
That's a good point.
Who's the next Bachelor?
As far as curb appeal, as far as what we're seeing and what we're hearing and what the buzz is all about, I could see it being, as far as popularity, either Chris or Josh, whoever does not win.
Yeah. Although I really hope they go with a different lead either next season or the next Bachelor after that, and they have someone like a Markel or a Tasso. Someone with we haven't really seen a lot of Markel, but he seems to have some substance as well as Tasso's.
Yeah, I agree.
They're both good-looking guys, but they have something to kind of back it up with.
I think Markel is sharp.
He is. He seems fun, too.
Yeah.
Good sense of humor, too.
Witty, cute.
But I don't see him and Andy together.
No. Yeah. When she chose Markel over Tassos tonight, I kind of didn't get it.
I didn't get it either.
So,
wow.
Yeah, because Tassos is pretty cool, and you see them having really good conversation. And even the way he said goodbye to her and the way they were talking, you could see that. But what she said was, she used the C word again, just can't force that connection.
No,
so I think she just, for whatever reason, wasn't feeling it.
Because she's feeling it more with Josh and who else? Nick, possibly. But I still don't see her and Nick.
Yeah.
I don't get that one.
And JJ.
Yeah. I kind of forgot about him.
I like JJ. Are you kidding me? Those liver spots are going to haunt me forever.
And on that note.
Yes.
Well, this was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Thank you guys for taking your week off and actually doing this.
It was nice to include you.
Yes, because we talk about you so much, apparently.
It was nice to have you be a part of it.
I just stopped by and just say hi and let you know I was thinking about you and all that good stuff. I love you guys.
Thank you, Neil.
Thanks, Neil.
Isabelle, I love you even more.
Because you just couldn't handle it again.
Exactly.
Oh, I was going to say, you can't love one of us more than the other.
Fine. She's a hair behind you, Liz. How's that?
Thank you, Neil. That's our time for today. You can follow us on Twitter at @DidTheLetterU.Watch It. You can also find us at iTunes. Let us know what you think. Thank you for listening.